Hi, and welcome back to Bulgarian Organic Smallholding, as the title suggested. This clip is going to be called Show Us Your Steak. It's part of the Show Us Your Steak challenge. Made a few notes here to understand what it's all about. I watch a lot of YouTube and I watch a lot of survival and bushcrafters and wild campers and all different things, and there's a channel out there called Haze Outdoors, and I think in the last month he started this Show Us Your Steak challenge to raise awareness of men's mental health. And you basically have to go out in the woods and cook a steak and raise awareness of men's mental health. And then he tags a couple of people at the end. Well, of course I don't get tagged because I'm Billy No Mates, and but that's besides the point. I watched a few people who have been tagged. I watched one this morning. Some big channels, you know, 750,000 people, 50,000, 70,000 down, you know, to me less than 1,000, and a couple of others that I watch. It's not about that. So men's mental health, what can I say, or what should I say? Well, I had a quick look on Google last week when I started to think about this, and I had another look this morning. Actually, it's 7th of November today. Used to be a big parade in the Soviet Union, but that's besides the point. It's also the month of Movember. I don't know if you know what that's about. I think guys are supposed to shave off their beards and moustaches and whatever for Movember, but I'm not so certain about that. It doesn't really concern me. However, I read this morning that talking about only the United Kingdom, and what the United Kingdom got now, 63, 64 million people, something in that area, give or take a few million here or there, that 1 in 8 men in the United Kingdom have experienced a mental health problem, and 75% of suicides in the United Kingdom are suicides by men. Pretty sad, huh? Okay, I'm gonna cut, and I'm gonna bring a camera in closer because I'm not so sure. I got 2 cameras on the go, and I'm not sure how well they're picking up the sound, and I don't want any more people complaining, or reasonably complaining, that they can't hear it, because what's the point in me doing this if you can't hear me? And I don't have an external mic, I don't need one. Fire is burning away, I'm having a beer and a smoke, so over now for now. Okay, brought the camera in nice and close. There's not a lot of wind, actually there's hardly any wind at all, so I shouldn't be drowned out, but just in case the last part is just a visual and no audio, I'll just recap that men's health, mental health awareness, that 1 in 8 men in the United Kingdom have experienced a mental health problem at some time, and 75% of suicides in the United Kingdom are committed by males, men. Not dismissing you females, but the thing is, what they're trying to make aware, what they're trying to encourage men to do, is to talk more about their state of health, their state of mind, not bottle it up. It's very true that how often do you hear, you know, I mean, we see English, British parents, you know, here on the Black Sea. Sasha was there, and the kid was scared to go down this high water slide, and his father was telling him to man up, man up. You know, there's a guy out there, a lot of subscribers, and he was carrying in a stove for his tent, and he was telling people to man up, man up. I said, what, you know, okay. You know, as my good friend Lee says, you know, it's all in the mind, and it is. But some people are not able to deal with it. I am on a number of ex-forces, veterans, close forums, and I'm sorry, but I can't deal with it. You know, somebody comes on and says, oh, I'm feeling bad tonight. A lot of them are suffering with post-stress traumatic PTSD. What does that stand for? Post-traumatic stress disorder. Got it. And these people go into very dark places, and you know, they're asking for help. Now, thankfully, there are people on these forums that will help, but I can't do it. It just it depresses me, and I have to scroll on. I just can't deal with it. I mean, yeah, so 1 in 8 men in the UK have experienced a mental health problem. I think that we're all slightly, I think we're all mental. It just depends to what degree and how we control it. I was raised in a family with a mental health problem. You know, with a mother that was on Valium and God knows what, and I guess, you know, some of these things leave their scars somewhere. And I remember when I was going to go back to Northern Ireland, I was supposed to take over from this guy, and usually you get like a 1 week's handover at least, or a few days at least. But the guy topped himself before I got there. And I thought, that's good. So I didn't get any handover. And, you know, I didn't know this guy. I only knew his name. I didn't know him that well. But, yeah. And it's strange because in the job that I was in, I was allowed to keep a 9mm Browning pistol 24/7. And, you know, one time I was sitting on my own somewhere. I don't know where it was. Maybe it was in the barracks. I don't really remember. But I only remember, like, you know, cleaning this 9mm and putting it back together and, you know, messing around with it. And it just came into my head, like, well, came into my head. Thankfully, the bullet didn't. But I just put this gun to my head, and I thought, it'll be so simple. And then I was like, what the fuck? Put this pistol down, stood back from it, and I handed it back into the army. I didn't have it for a couple of days. I gave it a break. And I think, and to this day, I think, what was all that about? There was no, I wasn't depressed. I wasn't under any more than normal stress, but it just came into my head. And then a bit later on, another guy who was a senior guy, a warrant officer, he had a debt problem. Okay, we're going back into the early 80s, I would imagine. Yeah, early 80s. And he had some debt problem of about £1,000, which was nothing, really. And I'm not sure if that was the only reason, but he took a 9mm pistol, went down to the ladies' toilet in the club in Berlin, in the army, part of the army club that I was in, and he topped himself. What was that all about? So, yeah, each their own. I really feel for people, and I think that this awareness is that you're supposed to reach out, you're supposed to check on people if you know that somebody doesn't seem to be their usual selves or seem to be always down. I don't know anyone in that particular state. As I say, people that come onto the Facebook, onto social media, I'm aware of them, but other people are straight onto it and deal with it. There are the Samaritans and a lot of other charities. So I just scroll on because, you know, I also suffer from depression now and again, and people usually know it, but I'm not suicidal. I mean, it's just a fact. I get down and I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. And I know it's going to last maximum a week. It could be a day. It could be 2 or 3 days. But it doesn't last longer, and I have in the past been offered, I wouldn't say prescribed, drugs by doctors, different GPs, and I've always refused, because I think that once you go down that route, it's difficult to get off it. So you deal with it in your own way. The good thing is that I have places where I can get solitude. I have my animals, which even when I'm, you know, rock bottom, they rely on me and they give me incentive. And I also think that you need to try to find something that's uplifting, you know. I mean, sit and listen, see something, look for something good. Avoid the news, avoid social media for a while, look for something good. listen to a bird song, watch some nature, watch something uplifting on the television, go and watch, you know, Fools and Horses or something that lifts your mood. Doesn't matter. And I just want to give a shout out actually here to a person that I know. She's also ex-army, and her name is Joe Reed. Hello, Joe Reed. Because you are a very stimulating person. I like to read your blogs on Facebook. You always have something funny to say, something good to say, and people like you actually, I know you have a very small circle, but you do lift other people, and there are more people like that that others could latch onto and say, ah, she's having a coffee, she's feeding Petco, I think is the name of the donkey, and what's the name of the dog now? Mir, is it, or something like that? I've forgotten. The Rottweiler, and Target and all the rest of them, and it's just very good. So that's all I'm going to say on that. I think I've waffled on for long enough. Fire's going nicely, and the main point is to cook a steak. It's all in that Bergen over there. So I better get on with it, and let's see how it turns out. So thank you so far, if you're stuck with me. Over and out for now. Oh, shut up, porkers. Okay, so what did I throw in this rucksack very quickly? Probably more kit than I actually need for cooking this steak. But let's have a look. First thing is I got this cheap Chinese chopping board. It's supposed to fold and lock in and strain, so it's multifunctional. It's good for fanning the flames. An aluminium pan with a metal handle. I think you would do pancakes in this, but it fits nicely in the rucksack. It's yet to be used. It's reasonable weight-wise for backpacking. You get your bacon and your eggs in that, no problem. The only thing is, of course, with a Teflon coating, you shouldn't really use metal objects to cook with. So that's pan number one. I'm not sure yet whether we'll use that one. A couple of stainless steel plates that are washed and they still haven't dried off. I got my AK-47, only joking. I call it the AK-47 because it's folding stock. I like this. I think I'll cook these, well, you'll see what the steak is like when I get that far down into the rucksack. So I got that. Yep, nice, because I don't have to get my hands too close to the fire to turn the meat. My wooden spoon, that'll be necessary. Not sure I'll be needing this. And let's have a sip of beer. I have one of these actually because now flies are dying off, but if I have to put some food to one side, I can just use this pyramid umbrella netting to keep the flies off my food, so it weighs nothing. Let's get to the ingredients. I did take a photograph before I came down. I should just say that this whole challenge is meant for, you know, the bushcrafting community, the survivalists, which I am not overly one of them, but I like it. Maybe it'd be easier to take the contents out than trying to get the bag out. Yeah, because I just stabbed myself with something sharp. It's in this bag, trying to get it out. So we got some sunflower oil because I want to burn in these pans. I got my beloved Worcestershire sauce, now got blood all over it. Let's get a piece of tissue on that if I have some. Yeah, just to keep it off. Charming, eh? Well, it looks like tomato ketchup, but okay. I don't have any nasty diseases, so not as far as I'm aware. The machete over there, that's not going to be necessary. I'm not eating with that. This is probably what stabbed me. I'm not going to, you know, use some aluminium crap that I would carry. I'm going to use a proper knife, fork and spoon. This meal deserves it. We have a nice steak knife, a nice fork and a nice spoon. And these are plikzapchenia. I mean, they're basically roasting bags because I want to roast a potato and I want to try and roast it in one of these bags. I've never tried it before. I've done chickens in them, but not outdoors, so that's something. Some kitchen roll, which is very good for when you cut yourself. Yeah, just a cloth in my hands. My salt and pepper, it's a rock salt, and a black pepper. I only bought these yesterday, I didn't even take them out of the cellophane. I mean, I do have them, I just bought them in reserve and just trying to grab stuff quickly. Here's me spud, me potato. I'm going to open these chanterelles and I'm going to heat them up. I don't know which camera is catching things the best. Maybe I'll find out later that neither of them are. That would be a bit of a disappointment, but there you go, you win some and you lose some. The steaks, I won't, well, I probably will cook them all up. I'm not a great steak eater. I don't have enough teeth left, to be honest, to eat a lot of steak, and I'm usually very disappointed in Bulgarian steak, beef. They don't tend to hang it a lot. The chefs in the restaurants don't seem to be very good at cooking it, and to be honest, neither am I. I like my steaks medium rare. If I can't chew them, it comes out into a serviette or it goes to the dog. I'm not struggling with it. As it says here, beef, I don't know what that word, bijsbrat, I don't know what that means. Malak steak, it means small steaks, so, but it's definitely beef. So those are the steaks. I was thinking about whether I should have bashed them a little bit up and marinated them, but decided no, I'll do it. This is a cheat. This is some garlic paste, as I don't want to be messing around with fresh garlic. It'll do for today. This is some herb butter. I think it's with yes, it's with chesen, which is garlic, and popravki. It means spices, you know, but it looks like it's dill. This is probably well out of its best by date. It's been in the refrigerator since God knows when. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And we have some shallots to cut and cook, and some English mustard. That's what we got. And in here, I'll keep it for a surprise, but I have something nice to drink with this meal, if I manage to cook it. Who knows? Anyway, have we stopped bleeding? I think so. Let's get this potato into one of these bags and let's get it down near the fire. I'll swing you around, getting enough more or less to the stage. I think the potato will take a lot longer to cook than the... Are they that big? Ah, of course, you get chickens in them. So, even if you can't hear me, you can see what I'm doing. You get the message. You're like one of those mime shows, so I'm not sure how these work. Oh, I do. Yeah, okay. Will it work? Will it go up in flames? I have no idea. Should I put a hole in the potato? Should I? I don't know. Are they bags or are they plates? It's a bag. Christ almighty, you get Malcho in there, or Lindy Lou. I don't think they'll be very happy about that. Okay, let's put the spot in to a corner. And let's actually just do it like this. I don't think I need to tie it, but I will. At least if it explodes, I'll have it all in one place. So I guess if this goes something like this, here. Okay, we're there. So, grab a camera of my choice, which is this one, and excuse the wobble. So, let's put the potato in somewhere like that, and let's see what happens. We won't lose sight of it. Yeah, bit of blood there. Okay, so potatoes in. Just need to start to cut the onions. I don't think you really need to see that, do you? Or do you? I think I'll have another smoke and finish my beer, and soon I'll sort the wood out a bit better and come back. Or even have a lot of editing. 2 of me. Okay, over now for now. I cut a couple of this, what do you call this, small onions again? I've forgotten. I managed to nick, not cut. Like 3 times today, trying to get this done before I lose the light. It's nearly 10 to 4. I mean, that's 15:50 in the new time, but didn't change my watch. I'm not going to. So for me, it's 16:50. About an hour light. I'm ready to go, more or less. What am I going to do next? Okay, let's try not to cut myself rushing again. There's my steaks. I'm not going to cook all of them, but I'm going to select a couple of them now, because I don't eat a lot, and you know, I have to watch the dog doesn't steal them. Let's try and open this chanterelles and put some in with the shallots. That's the word I'm looking for. Actually use the same oil, the juice that they came in. Splash them in there. Don't need a lot again, because I'm not a huge eater, and Sasha is not here. She's in Burgas teaching, and the guy that the volunteer that is here, Benjamin, the French guy, he's a vegetarian, so he doesn't get any. And okay, let's get this out of the way. I'm going to put a little bit of, actually quite a lot of Worcestershire sauce on it. I'm going to put some black pepper on it, if I can open this thing. Let's try not to lose the nice Worcestershire sauce. I'm not going to put any salt on it. Nice coating of black pepper. Let's put the lid on there. When I swing the camera around, you'll see another disaster. Well, not a disaster, but something that shouldn't have happened that did. Seems to be the way it is today. So we're going to try and cook this in some butter. So they always put this metal part on the end. Don't worry, I won't be leaving any rubbish behind. I have a bag up there for all the rubbish, what I can't burn off. This is how I do it. You see, I slip and you nick yourself, so there's got to be an easy way. You see how easy it is. When you're dealing with sharp knives, you don't have all your fingers to use. I don't want to cook cellophane. Definitely not. I think this is going to be enough. So let's put that in there, out of the way. Let's swing the camera around and let's move over there. And I hope the dog doesn't steal the food. Well, it helps if you turn the camera the right way around, I guess. Maybe it was filming back to front all the time, I don't know. Are we filming? I have no idea. I think we're filming. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Let's get the gloves. Let's get some garlic paste. Let's get this and try not to drop on it. Or trip over. Okay, let's get this on the heat here. Let's use this one. Let's get our butter in. Let's put a bit of, oh, I can smell the garlic there. So again, I don't know what sound is being picked up or not. My cooking grill, the leg broke off, so I'm having to prop it up with a bit of metal for now till I can get it welded up or weld it up myself. Potato is over there. What do you want? Go away. We don't want you here. Dog, where's my beer? Oh, it's here. Okay, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to get the steak steam. Potato. Seems to be doing okay. Maybe put it on the top. No, I don't like that. Put it back where it was. These can afford to take down a little bit lower here on the coal. Mustard. Okay. Note to self. Next time, Robert, bring bloody plasters out with you. Okay. That's it. Let's get this show on the road, as they say. would put a glove on this hand if I didn't have a bleeding plaster on it. Got a burnt crap in there. Nah, potatoes not cooked. We'll just leave it in the ash for now. It's the thought that counts. Did the challenge. I cooked something. Potatoes not cooked enough, but okay. I expected that I should have put it in a lot earlier. It's clearing up. Let's have a bit of mustard. A lot of mustard. Let's have a drink of South African Pinotage Shiraz, one of my favorite wines from my time in South Africa. I do like Bulgarian wine, but sometimes I treat myself to this, and I know that's going to taste good, and I ain't too sure about the steak. It might taste like old leather. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. Small bite. Well, that's that one gone. Batch is probably gone. Anyway, here we go. Okay, I'm nearly out of battery and I don't have any spares. The other one has just cut off. Okay, I did the challenge. Nobody tagged me to do it. You're supposed to tag 2 people. I'm going to tag a couple of guys in the less than 1,000 subscribers like myself. They're bushcrafters, wild campers. The wild camper might have a little bit of a problem cooking because he's a stealth camper, but I'll give him the challenge. He'll find a way. So the first guy I started watching is a guy called Haze Outdoors. Really interesting channel. Some interesting stuff. I'll put a link to his channel. And the second guy is a place from my own area, Black Country Woodsman. He's a stealth camper, and I like his channel. He's a bit scary with all his tattoos on his neck, but he seems to be a really nice guy. So there you have it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up, and girls. Thank you for watching. Made a lot of mistakes today, but he who never made a mistake never made anything. I got something to eat. I enjoyed the time out. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. You know where the wolf head is. I'll improve on this outdoor cooking lark. It's not so easy as I find out, but you know, it's okay. Thank you. Over and out for now.